Hello, Nomads. Oh, boy. Are you there?
Are you there?
Hello? Is this thing on?
Hello, Nomads, and welcome to episode 17. This is the Nomads of Fantasy podcast, and I am Brandon. I am the host of the show, but I'm also here with Eric.
Yo.
And Dave.
I say what I mean and I do what I say.
Oh, was that?
That is.
That's right. Yes.
I gotta grab a little Pacino and throw it in there. Why not?
I thought about getting a quote from the movie. I didn't have one.
Yeah.
Say hello to my little friend.
Not this one.
Wrong movie.
Wrong movie.
Yeah, we're referencing Heat from 1994. I think this is when the movie came out.
5, I believe.
95. Yeah, and it's a movie by Michael Mann, Al Pacino, and Robert De Niro. Movie, both of them.
All-star cast.
It was a ridiculous
Well,
cast.
just the first movie that those two were in it together. But yes, this movie has so many people in it. And we'll get into all that, but usually we like to catch up. Also, a little behind the scenes here. We're recording this episode a little earlier than in schedule, and we did the last episode a little behind schedule, even though we're still releasing it on Sundays. Yeah, we haven't really done too much since we just recorded. So on my side, not much. I checked out Quake on Game Pass, and I have a nostalgia for Quake, and it was really cool to go back in time, and it just tickles this like old memory, that dusts off this old memory in the back of my head of like playing Quake on a computer, and here I am.
So is it
2021
like remastered 60 FPS, all that goodness, or what?
Yeah, dude. I went to the settings and I took screenshots and I sent them to you. Where I got the head bob and the motion blur. I updated as much as I could, and it was really nice. And I don't know, the default settings were a bit much. Pro tip there, go and adjust, slow some of those things down. But yeah, that's it. I just checked it out. I thought that was really cool. Other than that, I just worked on Hades, and I'm still trying to escape.
Does it have online in it? Or is it just...
What's that?
Is it just
Quake?
single player?
It does.
Like death matches and stuff? Oh, okay.
It has single player and all the DLC that came with it. Or not DLC, but
Nice.
the add-ons. So yeah, I went in there, got my ass kicked. I'm not good at it, but I went to multiplayer. I'm not good there, but I just did it because I can, and I love it. So thank you, Xbox, for getting Bethesda so I could play Quake on my fucking Xbox One X. That's it. Dave, what have you been up to?
Well, we finished...
In the last 2 days, 3 days.
No, yeah. We finished the Hades cast last time, and I immediately finished the episode and went and started a new run. And for the very first time on my first run after the podcast, I beat Hades. So
Nice.
That's crazy.
it is
With
kind of
what
weird. With the spear. I speared it.
Yes.
But when you get to... After you get to Hades the first time, you meet another god. Then when you go back the next loop through. So I got a whole bunch of her shit. It's the god of the seasons or whatever.
Her boons are very good.
Yeah, it's like all ice and it slows everybody
Meter.
down, and it stacks pretty well.
Mhm.
So I got pretty nasty with
Sweet.
that one in the spear combo. So that one helped out a ton. But weirdly, I know we mentioned it before, but I haven't played it since. I've been playing Fallout 76 since, which is kind of weird. It was Meat Week, so I got back into Meat Week for a little bit. I had a whole bunch of unfinished bases that I was just touching up. My kid was watching me for a little bit and is kind of cracking out on, there's a cat that goes into space, and it's just like a little side thing that they barely even mention, but Mr. Pebbles is a cat that they send into space, and everything fucking revolves around Mr. Pebbles now, so it's a little weird, but I have a 4-year-old asking me to go kill super mutants and stuff now, which is kind of funny. So between those two, that was about all I got in this short little gap.
Well, Heat was a 3-hour movie, so sneaking that in.
hard
Hey, we
to
should watch
sneak
Heat.
that
That's right.
Within 3 days.
Hey, did you realize it's 3 hours? Oh, God. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, what did we do?
I didn't do too much, but I snuck in a couple more Hades runs. I definitely want to keep going with that, kind of see through to some of the more end game stuff now that I'm kind of in a groove. starting to.
I mean, it opens up. Apparently, that's what my buddy said.
Is it the 10 runs? Do they all have to be like with specific weapons, or is it just 10 times through no matter what you're doing?
Pretty sure it's just 10 times through. And then you get another. I don't know. I haven't been spoiled, so I don't know what comes after that. But I know you hit 10 runs and something happens, like something opens.
Because when I beat Hades the first time, there's a good chunk of story that happens after that kind of ties in the loops, and I don't specifically mention it 10 times, but they kind of build in a story mechanic where like you have to get out of Hades multiple times in order for the story to progress, which is kind of cool.
Yep, and each time you get out, you get a little bit more of that story.
Okay.
So I'm still up to my 4 escapes, and yeah, I'm really interested in the story and kind of where it's going to go, because it's starting to uncover more and more stuff in like Zagreus' past and everything. So it's really cool. But other than that, I downloaded some Skate on Game Pass. I love me some Skate.
The original?
The original.
Throwback.
They put the OG one on Game Pass a couple weeks ago.
Sweet.
I was checking it out. It's, it's fun, but I feel like the Skate 2 and 3 are kind of outshine it as far as mechanics go. It was their first attempt at the Skate franchise, and I have a lot of nostalgia for that game, but I can definitely see its age a little bit. It still feels good, but it came out in 2007. Sure. So at this point, it's 14 years old.
Yeah.
So that one's fun. And then my last one, oh boy, I finished 12 minutes. And I don't know. This game I have a lot of mixed feelings about.
Without getting into spoiler territory, can you at least talk about the ending? Because it's like Kotaku had an article, and I shared that with you, and before that were even just saying like that ending.
Well, first of all,
didn't really land well with you.
Just some of the shit you have to do to progress in the loops is so obtuse. Like I just got stuck. I ended up just looking at a guide because I just wanted to get through and see the end. And I don't know. It was just in the late game, you have to do the loops over so many times, and you have to do such specific things that if you like mess up one tiny little thing, you got to do the entire loop over again. So it got really, really tedious at the end trying to get.
And it hurt. It sucks to hear that on a Game Pass game, because it's like going back to the episode of the Game Pass episode, where like, what is it doing to the industry? And it's like, I don't think I'm gonna I might try it one more time, but I might be done. And it sucks because it seems like they spent a good amount of effort in development.
Listen, yeah, I mean,
making this game.
This game
it turns me off. Game Pass, I have no investment. I'll just bounce out.
Yeah. The game had a rough development. I mean, it was in development for 6 years, so that's a pretty long time for a small indie game that only takes 3-4 hours to complete. There's a lot of moving parts as far as the dialogue and everything, but even some of that, it's not like perfect and polished. Like there's a lot of like sequence breaking stuff. Like you'll be talking to your wife about something super heavy and serious, and then you can just go back and be like, oh, you want to dance now? It's like it's so dissonant.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? It's just very weird.
It's $25, Brandon. Would you have even bought it if it wasn't on Game Pass?
No.
There you go.
That's not a game I would buy.
Unless it got like
weird.
stellar reviews, like 10 out of 10s, then I don't think I would have bought it.
I bought Firewatch, knowing that was a 5-hour effort. It's a walking simulator, but it's a gorgeous looking game. It's like everything about it is just fantastic. So yeah, I can do that. And that was indie and that much. I don't know. I knew that loop was going to annoy me, and I feel like it's going to make or break the experience for you, right? Like you're going to like it or not.
Oh yeah. And like
to me,
to be honest, without going into spoilers, the story is not worth seeing to the end. Like it just falls super flat, and it just, the more I think about it, the more it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh God.
Like
really looking forward to finishing that one now.
Like what would you give it?
I don't know. Like a 6 maybe out of 10.
If the ending didn't happen the way it did, and you were almost at the end and you're trying to figure it out, what would you have rated it?
You mean if like the story paid off in the end?
No, just like before the ending, like dropped the
Oh,
ball for you when you were in it. When you were in it and you actually working on the game.
I don't.
Still the same?
Probably the same because, like
Okay.
I said, I'm not. I haven't really been ever really good at point and click adventure games because I feel like I always get so stuck. Like I just don't know what to do, and then I end up having to like look at a guide or something. Which whatever. I'm not. I don't typically look at guides.
Defeats the purpose.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
guys are lame. Read this, do that. Like, why am I playing the game then?
I mean, the only point of looking at a guide for this one is because I was interested enough in the story to want to see what happens at the end, but then it just completely let me down at the end, and I don't know. By the end of it, I had a very sour taste in my mouth. I would say it had some big ideas, but bad execution.
Is this the first game by that studio, by the way, before we wrap that up? Is it like...
I think it was the one guy was
have
the
they
one
made
that...
other stuff before?
One guy was the one that... He worked at a couple different game studios before, and he had it as like a tech demo, and then he's kind of...
Right.
Got it going from there, basically. After a couple years, he got some funding to do it.
All right, we'll give him a break. Seems like...
Yeah, he was a designer that learned how to code, basically, while he was making the game, which is pretty impressive for one guy. I don't know how many the studio actually got up to, but
right.
I know it was pretty small. But
I mean, under developer for 12 minutes, it just says the guy's name, Luis Antonio.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Cool intro though.
Yeah.
The artwork is or the show again.
Like I said, some good ideas there. I like the time loop aspect, but I don't know. It just got very frustrating. And I think I would have had a better experience if I played it like with a mouse and keyboard or something. Like on Xbox, it's not ideal.
Totally.
With the analog stick dragging
iPad,
the cursor around.
Yep.
But yeah, I will say I finished this game. I was just laying in bed and I was thinking about it and I'm like, yeah, I just want to finish this. And I booted up xCloud. That's the first time I tried Xbox's streaming service. So you just boot up your browser, go to xbox.com/play.
Yep.
And you can basically play any Game Pass game streaming.
That's pretty cool.
And and it worked pretty well. I would say it works well for a game like this. Like anything fast paced or twitchy, it's not really going to work. But yeah, single player, like adventure game, it was kind of perfect for that. So that was cool. I just thought I'd throw that in there, but that's all I got.
Well, let's just get into the movie. So let's take a break and then we'll talk about some Heat. Okay, we're back, and we're gonna be talking some Heat. Who picked this movie? Dave, did you pick this movie?
I did because it was one that I mean, I like those, like old gangster movies. I know GTA 5 pulled a lot from this movie after.
Oh, we'll get into that.
When you made that reference, I was like, I couldn't get it out of my head.
I got a whole list of
but this was
comparisons.
One none of us had seen before, so I thought that was a good one to pick.
Although
I didn't realize how long it was, but whatever, it was good.
Yeah, it was long.
All right. Well, thanks for picking it. And Eric, I usually have you kind of do the plot. This time I'm actually not going to say shit. I'm going to let you just do a quick rundown of the plot. And then let's just talk more about other things. Yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, I want to make it a relatively quick summary just so we can kind of get into the nitty gritty of some of the characters and everything. But basically you have this crew starting out at the beginning, planning this truck heist, this armored truck heist, and this new guy. Well, first of all, let's just lay out the characters here. You got Neil McCulley, which is Robert De Niro. Chris is Val Kilmer. Michael is Tom Sizemore. And that's like the main crew you got. And then you have Trejo, which is Danny Trejo, which is funny. And he's the driver. So they bring on this new guy named Wayne Grow for the truck heist, and basically everything's going according to plan, but then this dude Wayne Grow kind of is holding up the cops the guards to the armored truck, and he thinks one of them's trying to make a move, so he basically shoots him, and then they end up killing all the cops and getting away. And that's kind of the catalyst for a lot of what happens later in the movie. Since it wasn't just a simple, not simple, but a robbery, it turned into like a homicide, triple homicide as well. So, you got the LAPD hot on their tail, and you got Lieutenant Vincent Hanna, played by Al Pacino, is leading the operation, trying to track these guys down and figure out who did this crazy crime. So that's kind of the main plot, and basically just throughout the movie, Pacino and Robert De Niro are kind of playing a cat and mouse game of, Pacino's always hot on De Niro's tail, and they're kind of going back and forth. Like at one point they kind of meet up and just acknowledge that each other is like, a master craft at each of their disciplines. Like Pacino's a master investigator, and De Niro's a master, crew leader, heist organizer, all that stuff. So, but yeah, I feel like we should just get into some more of the specific scenes and character interactions, because that's kind of the groundwork there that we're working with for this movie.
Right. So thank you for doing that. And when we look at Heat, we picked it because none of us have seen it, but we know it's one of those movies like, shit, if we're going to do a podcast where we, talk about movies or pop culture and make references, you got to at least know some of the big ones, right? And when it comes to heist movies, they say this is like one of the top 5 easily, right?
Oh yeah,
Heat is many people's number 1 heist movie.
It's always in that conversation when I hear anything about heist
or
movies.
Cop movie, cop drama. Yeah. And I think if you're a big fan of Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, of course you're going to see this. Like I said, how this is like the movie they get together. Which did you notice? So my description of this movie was like Al Pacino versus Robert De Niro, right? Yep. And they're both good at what they do, and it's a gentleman's game, and the life that they live, and like they're really good at their job, but they kind of want to be normal, but they can't because of it's like it's what Al Pacino's character says at the end, where it's like, oh God, he like repeats what his wife says in the hospital when they're waiting for Natalie Portman to heal or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I am what I'm going after or something like that.
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah.
And that sums up these two guys, right? It sums up even like some of the other guys too, but
those two are like they're opposite sides of the coin though, basically.
But they meet in the middle of the movie. They together, like the whole time you're following both of their stories. There's a lot of mirroring. Like you could tell when they're like, okay, backstory time, or not backstory, but like,
oh yeah,
outside of them being criminals, what do they got going in their life? And you would see one by one, back and forth, what everybody's dealing with in their life. Then like an action scene would happen. Then it would go back and do this. You could see the pattern. But in the middle of the movie, out of nowhere, they just go and have coffee. These two big powerhouses, like in Hollywood. This is what they do. Let's have coffee together, and it's just kind of like a gentleman's like head nod, like, all right, I respect
funny.
that.
I laughed at that part because like Pacino,
very weird.
Pacino comes home from work, and his wife's like Pacino's got the family that's like on the marriage is on the down, and De Niro is like he's lonely and he wants some sort of companionship or something throughout the movie. So they're kind of on opposite trends of their relationships, but Pacino gets home.
Which I liked. I thought that was
his
really
wife
cool.
is leaving, and he's just like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to get into a helicopter. I'm going to chase this thing, and I'm going to land, get in a car, and hunt him down. Like, man, you just, like, the LAPD spares no expense for this fucking guy. He's just going all over, but...
Yeah.
If you want Al Pacino, man, this is an Al Pacino movie. He is in character. I don't think he's, like, he's not
he goes
Vincent
hard.
Hanna at all. He's just Al Pacino. He is just Al Pacino, dude. It was great seeing that, though. Honestly, I think Robert De Niro really owned this movie. I thought his performance was like killer. I thought he looked cool. I liked how he was really struggling with this thing he's addicted to of being a career criminal, where Pacino just showed up. It's like, all right, we're doing it. You know, just like Pacinoing it up, man. I don't know. Maybe that's De Niro's style, is to not talk much, and Al Pacino's like very like, dude, he's a clown. Could you imagine this guy running the show? Oh, we're gonna go have burgers tonight, fellas. Grab your coats. Like, he just says the most random shit. I'm waiting. Like, what is this guy doing?
He is intense.
I would lose my shit if I met this guy in real life. And he's like shorter than everybody, and the cameraman's trying his best to make sure that he's like not as short because he's standing next to like really tall people.
Well, that's funny. I never noticed that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's only 5'8". Dude, I was looking at the cast in this movie, and I think everybody knows this, but like, when was the last time you saw a movie where like just about everybody is somebody? And you know their names.
It's
like
up
Hank
and down.
Azaria's in here. We had like Natalie Portman,
the Allstate guy,
John Voight, Allstate guys in there.
Yeah, Dennis Haysbert. Yeah, he's President Palmer to me from 24. But
yeah, dude, so many characters. Do you think all the characters hurt or helped this movie? It seems like, I mean, it's well regarded, but do you have any concerns that there's just too many characters that you don't give a fuck about anybody? I didn't care about anybody except
really. I was the opposite.
the kids.
because we're looking at it from, I don't know how long ago was this? 95. So what?
25, 26 years ago.
26 years. So like
Sure.
back in 95, like obviously Henry Rollins was Henry Rollins, but he's in there. Danny Trejo probably wasn't as big as he is now. Natalie Portman's just a little kid.
Mhm.
So, you know, but I mean, this is kind of the heyday for, you know,
William
Pacino, De Niro,
Fichtner
Ashley
Buffalo,
Judd,
New
John
York.
Voight.
Is in there.
I know, that was crazy, but yeah, a lot of these guys, like, looking at it from in hindsight, I think a lot of these people are much bigger than they were back then. But
Tone.
it made me miss Val Kilmer. I know, that threw me off. I heard the voice and I'm like, is that fucking Tone Loc? And I had to look up the IMDb on that. But a lot of these guys, like, I mean, I miss Val Kilmer. Where's he been? Like,
I love Val Kilmer.
he got overweight and alcoholic, and he's just not in stuff anymore. He's apparently in poor health now these days. But like, he was a badass in this movie. And I guess if we're gonna talk about story, like, do we get to the endings, or do you want to hit some of the middle spots first?
Oh, we can talk about whatever you want. I mean, people have had time to see this movie. I don't think we're just gonna talk about Heat in general, just as a whole. It's a big movie, like, right? A lot of people know about it as being like a big heist movie. It has all these actors in it. There was a lot of money thrown at it. It's a big deal. It's just 2021. Let's talk about. Honestly, I think it's fucking overrated. I think this movie is completely overrated, or it's just not for me. So I don't want to ruin this conversation. I'm more interested in you guys. Yeah. I think it wasn't a movie for me. Honestly, I'm not that impressed. But
it's a heist movie. I knew going into when they're setting up for their final bank robbery or whatever. I'm like, at least 3 of 4 people are not making it out of this.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously stuff goes really wrong really quickly when they're specifically walking out of the bank, and that whole shootout in the streets when they're leaving the bank is just fucking
Dude, that scene was awesome.
insanity.
The
It was
opening scene with the
fantastic.
truck, and then that scene, I will give you that. I wish the movie had more of that. That's not. It's like what you said, Eric, where this is more of a drama.
Yeah, I didn't know much into this movie about it at all, other than that it was a heist movie, but it turned out to be more of like a character drama. It's really focused on the characters and their backstories and their motivations, and, you know, how they're all intertwined and everything. And I really liked that part of it. The action stuff was good, but I was definitely invested in a lot of the characters. I mean, mainly, obviously, Neil and Vincent, but Chris had a really good side story too. The whole thing with his wife and his kid, how it seemed like they were all just trying to make like one last big score so they could take care of
Who cares? Who cares about Chris? Who cares? Okay, yes, he has a wife
I loved
and he has
Chris.
a kid.
He was great.
Dude,
what do you mean?
Val Kilmer's character was boring as fuck, dude. He didn't say shit. I thought he was very flat. I didn't care about his character at all. And then like he gets
like
away at the end, and they don't know what he looks like, I'm sorry. He got a haircut. He didn't change his face. And it was just I
He
didn't
dyed his
think
hair
that,
too. Don't worry.
But it was
Well,
just like, I mean, he's a very
never
distinct
really-
look. It's Val
Yeah,
Kilmer.
that's
He's the
true.
handsome blonde-haired man. I mean,
Listen,
come on.
that's
you
just
know what that guy looks like.
that's movies for you. But I
Who
do.
care- like, what was the relationship that he had with him? It seemed like they don't get along. I didn't spend any time with that character.
Well, they're
to
old heist
care.
buddies. Like, because you know that
We
he had
just
to fight
take
with the
that.
wife,
They told us,
and he ends
sure.
up at De Niro's house after like going out and getting shitty, and you know that he's got a gambling addiction because he keeps blowing all of his like heist money on Super Bowls and he's whatever.
But we didn't see it. We didn't see the time when he had the money and made the bad choice. It's all retrospective. It's always like
Yeah.
post. That's why I'm saying like this whole movie for me fell flat because I don't see the struggles. It just seems like everything's post, and I'm just seeing them living in the world that they've made. But I didn't get to see them make those bad choices. Like I don't know. We've seen movies where like they have the opportunity to get out, and then they don't. Now, obviously, that happens with De Niro's character at the end when he goes to the car and he's just like, "This is the decision." I talked about it like 4 times in this movie that you have to be able to walk away.
Well,
and
they
I have
all
to
had
walk away.
They all had an opportunity to get out when they were getting ready to do that big bank heist. They had that scene where they're all like, "We got a lot of heat, on us." Name of the movie, and
they made it said heat like 8 times during the movie too. It was funny. I laughed every time.
De Niro repeated his quote that he's like, "Oh, some guy told me to never get attached to anything, and you have to have stuff that you can drop in everything in 30 seconds when you feel like the heat's around the corner." He repeated that like 10 times, but
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, you had that scene where they're all trying to decide like, oh, do we want to do this bank heist? And they had the opportunity to cut and run and kind of escape home free, but I mean that's a pretty pervasive theme in this movie is like obsession and addiction. They're all addicted to the
But they're also
the
criminals.
thrill.
They murder. They kill people. It's not like they're just like addicted to like the money and the thrill. They straight up shoot people and kill. Like I don't care about any of De Niro's people.
They're not doing it in cold. Well, I mean, I guess they are doing it in cold blood, but they're doing it as they view it as a job, not as like malicious. Like
These are
killing people.
humans' lives that they're just throwing away, and you're telling me to care about them because they have a wife and kid. Like I don't care. You just took out somebody's like wife or sister. Like what are you talking about? Again, like the only one that made me think is that like I cared about is De Niro's because he tries to avoid it. He really does. You don't see him making the moves.
I mean,
until somebody does it, like he's so much more articulated.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see Sizemore's character going around like, "Oh, I want to get out," but and he just glances at the city and thinks about it. No,
He was
just
barely in it at all.
He's just like, but all
Like,
these guys
as far
are.
as backstory,
I think a lot of people are just assistant characters to De Niro versus Pacino.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, they're the main set piece.
Yeah, I mean, those are the big
But
ones.
you could have taken like 10 characters out and given them more time. Like was it Hayfield or who's the guy?
You want the movie to be 6 hours long?
No, but like if you're gonna introduce characters, make me care. And I didn't care. I cared about
like
some,
even
but I don't know. I gotta keep my mouth
even
shut.
Dennis Haysbert, the black Allstate driver.
I liked him.
Like you get a little bit of his backstory, and like I felt bad for the guy because he's taking shit by being at work, and he's getting
and that woman,
downgraded.
his wife or girlfriend,
by that fucking cook guy.
Yeah, and she says that like, but like I'm so proud of you. He's like, why are you proud of a loser like me? But she's like, because you're doing it. Like that's all. That's the thing, right? And then he gets signed up. The second after the guy like Trejo like says, I can't, I gotta back out. I'm being tracked. And then they scoop him up like 5 seconds later, and then he just dies later. And like they just wrap up his story so quick. It's like the time that like a man cries and like we start to care about this guy, it just seemed like a throw. Like he was just used. Just I don't know. I didn't. And Trejo, man, if you're a person of color, I don't want to go crazy in it, but like I feel like you just got like taken out way quicker than like other people. And I like, God, it's like Trejo is a cool character. Next thing you know, we walk into his apartment, dead on the floor or dying on the floor. Like the prostitute girl.
And that
you're
one was
dead
weird
in
to
the
me
scene.
too because
just like what the heck? If you're not one of these guys, you're like
Trejo got killed. Like the cops were on him too. Shouldn't the cops have been like protecting him or following him? Unless the cops were the ones that murdered him. But I assume it was Henry Rollins and
it was Van
Zandt
Zandt
that
that Wayne
caught
guy
up to
ratted
him.
him out to them.
But-
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
The Wayne Grow guy, like, you can tell from the very first scene when you see him, like,
Piece of
this guy's
shit,
a fucking
yeah.
scumbag. You can tell that he doesn't fit in with the rest of the crew, like,
yeah.
immediately, because, I don't know, he's got that Trevor from GTA 5. Like, they pretty much cloned Wayne Grow and turned him into
All
a
right.
meth head.
Can we?
Yeah,
Since
dude.
you brought that up,
Trevor, so.
can we talk about this? I have a feeling that
Sure.
I have a feeling that Dan Houser is a really big fan of this movie, writer on GTA 5. I was writing down all these parallels that I was seeing. The movie takes place in LA, Los Santos, same thing. I mean, there's a guy named Michael in the crew, but obviously the analog for Michael is De Niro in this movie. He's a white Italian guy, and he's like the mastermind of the group. You got Donald, which is the driver at the end, anyways. Token black guy. Franklin is also the driver in GTA. Like Dave just said, Wayne Grow is like a trailer trash redneck white supremacist dude. And then you got the heist went wrong and they all got locked up, but this was obviously before. You got this one blew my mind. You had Kelso, which was the tech guy in the wheelchair, and you have Lester in GTA 5.
I saw that. That one jumped out.
And yeah, so there's like so many parallels.
That's a good point.
Between that and GTA 5. It's like GTA 5 is basically Heat, the video game, which I thought was really funny because there's clearly a lot of inspiration from this movie. Yeah.
It does make me want to go play it again too.
Yep. I feel like you always have to have like a Latino sidekick if you're gonna have like a cop show. Am I wrong? I feel like I see that a lot in movies, or is that not a thing?
I don't know.
Like I'm thinking like,
I feel like it was more common back in the day. Yeah.
Well, I can think of some movies, but like even in Breaking Bad, like there's just like, there's like the rowdy white guy who's just like, come on, we just got to break the rules a little bit to do the job, and then like you got this clean cut like Latino guy or Native American or something like sidekick. I feel like I've seen that. And it's like, did this movie create a lot of tropes? Is this one of those movies where like this is where the tropes come from because of a movie like this?
Probably. Have you seen End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal and I forgot what that other guy's name was, but he was he had a Latino partner. Yeah. I forgot his name, but that was a rough one to watch. The ending of that is really sad, but
I heard it was rough. Yeah, that's why I didn't watch that one. Yeah. So okay, so you go back to the emotional part of this movie. What was like the heaviest part, other than like obviously like a kid trying to commit suicide? That's fucking heavy and all that stuff. But
yeah, that was pretty heavy.
That was sad.
Like why was that even in there?
She had two
Why was
scenes.
that part of the movie?
She's just like, "Mommy, where's my books?"
Yeah.
Or so like, "Where's something?" Oh, she's bipolar. 2, like she goes into the car.
Wait, she's bipolar?
I don't know. Why else was she like freaking out? Why was she like so?
No, I didn't get that part. I thought it was just.
I mean, I
the
feel
environment she was raised in, but yeah, I didn't really. I had no idea why she was in his hotel room, like why she was there, why she was trying to commit suicide.
They mentioned it that she like ran away and went to Pacino's hotel room because she wanted to be there. But yeah, I don't know. That was weird. I feel like that.
Well, hold on, Pacino can walk in. Oh, go ahead.
I feel like they you are right, Brandon. They didn't give her really enough screen time for you to really care that much. I mean, they gave you a little
Too many
they give
characters.
you enough of a backstory that you get the idea that she's had a pretty rough childhood, but
I think it was just more for Pacino. It's just the shit that Pacino has. A lot of characters are supporting Pacino, and a lot of characters supporting De Niro.
True.
I think that's all these. I think that's what this movie is. Personally, that's my hot take on it. That like we're only supposed to care about her enough.
Oh yeah,
because we really got to care about Pacino. Pacino's like literally in the fucking waiting room,
right.
And then he gets a pager. He's like, you cheated on me. I'm trying to save this world. I just saw like a 16-year-old girl prostitute that just got like killed by a serial killer. I'm after like this guy who's probably smarter than me. And I just found, my stepdaughter, dead or almost dead from killing her or trying to kill herself in her bathtub. All of this is for Pacino. So when Pacino has to kill De Niro at the end, you care. So that way De Niro goes, if I'm going out, I'm glad it was you. I just like, it's just.
Oh, the hand holding thing at the end was a little weird.
It was a little cheesy, but
I mean, everything kind of builds Pacino up as like the good
But
guy,
he's not
like
a
the
good
guy
guy.
that cared. Like when the black Pacino.
He's not a good guy.
Not why? Because he's a cop that's so into his work that he completely fucks up all his marriages and all his. Yeah, you're thinking De Niro.
Yeah,
but like I was gonna say, when he
But
finds the black hooker that gets murdered, like he's the one that's like hugging the mom that's trying to get in and
he's the
calming her
man,
down.
dude. He has the
And
weight
then,
of the world
like,
on
he
his
is.
shoulders. He is so into
Literally.
But he walks into his apartment and doesn't notice that he has a soaking or his like hotel room. He didn't notice that floor was soaking wet. It's like he must have been.
water.
He must have been
I
thinking
saw that first time.
he must have been somewhere else because he's like walks into a Bay Area and he's like, "Oh, we're on show, boys." And he's just like, "Yeah, these are good." Yeah, like he could pick that up, but he walks into a hotel room with a soaking wet floor and he doesn't notice that. So I don't know, but I think his head was elsewhere.
And his wife sucked.
Well, he created her. They obviously got married for love, all that stuff, and she's just been.
She knew what she was getting into, though.
But you do,
Going
but
back
you
to
don't.
Brandon, your question about the heaviness. I mean, this entire movie is a modern day tragedy. Like nobody gets a happy ending, even
Except
like
for Val Kilmer.
No,
man.
Think about it. He didn't get a happy ending. He can never see his wife and kid again.
Well,
like he didn't die,
No,
but
because she does. She says you have to
Listen,
walk
yeah.
away. And she did the gesture on the hand, and he's just like,
Yep.
"All right."
Good on her too. That's better than Pacino's broad. Nor she's like, oh, I just banged some dude, and then she's at the hospital like later that same evening, and she's like, can we work this? Or you think we can work this out? I'm like,
yeah, she's messed.
oh, motherfucker, you just banged some other dude as like revenge.
But we don't know anything
sex
about
on
her.
Pacino, like, and then you're asking him to work it
Right.
out.
We don't know
Like,
anything
fuck
about
yourself.
her because she's just suffering because Al Pacino like is all we care about. We follow him around. We don't follow her around. We just see her in scenes, and it's just like, well,
Yeah. And I get he's distant and stuff, but she knows like what he does. Like you talked about like the crackhead putting the baby in the microwave. Like this is the shit I deal with. Like you think I'm gonna come home and be like happy dad and go to soccer practices and shit like that? No, like I got.
well, that's the reason why he can't make any of his
Right,
marriages
it's his
work.
third
is
marriage.
Yeah.
because he's so engrossed and obsessed with his work that he can't get close to anybody because he's not able to give anything back. Like he's so drained by everything else, his work and everything, that he has nothing left to give to anybody else. And that's it's a parallel with De Niro's character too. Like he's
It
so
is.
obsessed with revenge, and like at the end he left Edie to because they were at the end they
He
had
knew he
this
wasn't getting out
they
with
had
her.
this out, they were right, they were home free, they were going to the airport.
What a
and
dumbass.
If he would have just kept driving, but then he gets the call from Nate and says he knows where Waingro is, and you could just see like after that call in his eyes, like you knew he was going to go back, like you knew he was going to turn around. He couldn't let that loose end go.
I know you can't let the guy live, but why not, like, you get out of the country and make some phone calls and have Nate have somebody fucking murder him or have something like
because he's selfish and
you
obsessed.
don't have to do it himself. That was dumb. That was just dumb on his own part. But one part I didn't really believe, like that whole relationship he had seemed like paper thin. Like he met this chick like
Oh yeah,
twice. He met her at the bar the one time, and they went back. Got busy. Like he might have gone after the dinner and met up with her once or twice, but like they probably only dated a handful of times, and then
that's why I don't care. I don't care. Why should I care about her? He just.
I mean, once she got
the whole Edie thing was just garbage.
I mean, once she got involved with him, and then she found out the truth, she knew she couldn't really leave because like
She could have.
she's in it. She's in it now. Like she
has no connection
knows
to
who
him.
he is. Yeah, but if someone found out that she knew, or was in cahoots with him, someone could take advantage of that, and
I don't know.
to get to
She could have gotten
Niro's character.
She could have gotten away. And the weird thing is like,
I mean, I
she
guess in
sees
the
the
end, she
thing
probably did get away 'cause
after
De Niro just left her standing there.
well, I'm sure Pacino hunted her down, but after the bank heist or whatever, she sees it on the TV and she finds out that like he's not a salesman. Oh, you just murdered like 30 cops in the middle of the streets and stole like $15 million or whatever like that. And she tries to run away or whatever, and then he hits her with like the cheesiest line. I forget. I gotta look this up. I forget what it was, but he's like, I know no matter where I go, I'll always be alone if I don't have you. And then she just fucking, she's like,
Yep.
all right, whatever, sure.
Yeah, I couldn't take the romance scenes with
All of
with
those
the blues
scenes,
guitar
and I
slow
know
music. I was like,
Yeah, the music there was so cheesy. Yeah.
they spent like $60 million on this movie. They probably spent like $30 on the movie, 30 bucks on the music. It's all just like the cheesiest garbage, like saxophone slow jams or whatever, like for all those scenes. That was pretty bad. I wasn't a big fan of those.
Like we talked about Die Hard, 1988, and we had nothing but praise for that movie because it owned up to being an amazing action movie that stood out from the rest, and it holds up. It holds up. It's like, that is a fucking ride. Enjoy that shit. It's charming. It's got cool.
Start
it has
to
a lot of
finish
characters
there.
in it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't care about them, but I enjoyed it. This movie is a fucking drama that was almost 3 hours long, and I cared a little bit, but like I didn't I don't know. The characters I got attached to, they got no attention, and that sucked. Like the Allstate guy. I
Yeah.
liked where he was going. And it really annoyed me
Dennis
that
Haysbert,
he
you
just
can say it.
stands up for himself, takes on this job, and then he just gets like shot unceremoniously. And maybe that's the point.
That's
But
why it's so sad.
but like, it's
Exactly,
not
that's
sad
why it's
because
so
I don't
sad.
know anything
Tragedy.
about it. Because like, he had one scene to be sad. Oh, like, you're like, why are you proud of me? And all that stuff. And it's like, okay,
There's a couple. Him getting the job, him getting degraded
Well,
by the fucking line cook guy.
yeah,
That's
he was
just being
trying-
a dick to him for.
He was trying
No
to do
reason.
good for himself. And then fucking De Niro's character walks back into his life,
Right.
and then
it just shows how people can be
that
used and
was
abused.
the end of him,
and
that's-
use all like left and right and all that stuff. No,
Exactly.
I know, and then like I get that, but it's just like, I don't know. Like, what works and doesn't work for me, I guess, is that halfway through this movie, half the cast basically gets killed off, right? And there's still like a whole half of the movie to go, right?
That's what I saw. After the bank robbery, there's still like an
Yeah.
hour left.
it was like an hour left. Yeah.
So a lot of people get killed off there, and then towards the end, then they finish off the rest. But it's like, you have all these. I don't know. I think there's too many characters. I wanted to care more about some, and the ones I was teased with some, and they just didn't have enough story for me to be like, all right, like, I will not think about this movie tomorrow, but other movies I'll watch and I'll think about like, oh, what a sad ending or something.
Yeah,
like
there
that.
wasn't like any brain busters, like the end of Akira or some shit like that. Like, it's not something that you're gonna go read the Heat book or something like that afterwards. But I mean,
I was thinking of it in
heist
a way
drama.
of like how, I mean, De Niro, sure, all these guys were his friends, but they're expendable to him. Like, it's all about self-preservation for him. Like, it's him
Even
before
Chris,
anybody else.
Val Kilmer's character.
Oh yeah. If it was him or Chris, he would definitely choose himself for sure.
all right, I get
100%.
Oh, he didn't have to go get him during the street gun down. His buddy
It
gets
just
shot.
seemed like he had a
and
soft spot for him.
Kind of. He puts himself in danger to get Chris out of that.
He went
situation,
after his wife and
which-
said,
Yeah,
with the
he
Ashley
was-
Judd character, right? And she's like, you got to forgive him of this.
Yeah,
one.
and he
Like,
went over.
I don't
He went
care
over
after
to check
this.
on the wife.
Yeah, he's like, but for the kid, for like, you just forgive him one time, stuff. He didn't have to do that.
I just keep going back. He definitely did had some special treatment for Chris, but I mean, he kept going back to his fucking mantra of like, drop everything in 30 seconds. You feel the heat coming around. So like, he would have dropped Chris on a dime and took off.
I think towards the end of it, I don't know. There was some plot armor that kind of got into it. Like they're all on the news. They've got pictures of them. They know who these people are.
Right.
And fucking De Niro doesn't change he's wearing the same suit, wearing the same face, same hair the entire movie. Doesn't put on a pair of glasses, doesn't put on a baseball hat or something to try and disguise himself. He looks
Always the same suit.
exactly like his mugshot.
Yeah.
So when he goes to kill the guy at the hotel, Wayne Grow, he basically walks
he put on a security.
he walks in the
vest.
back door, like he's wearing a black suit and a white shirt, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna put on a disguise. I'm gonna put on a blue shirt and a blue a blue suit." And I'm like, "Dude, you look like the exact same guy with a fucking suit coat on. Why don't you could have chosen a chef's hat? You could have chosen fucking housekeeping garb."
I mean, nobody really knows what he looks like except Pacino and like Wayne Grow.
well, I'm sure that's all over the news.
Well, he had a mask. He had a mask on for the bank heist, so nobody saw his face.
He's running down the street with a AK, just like gunning down cops. I'm sure they
Nobody saw his face.
They know it. But like his lack of disguises, I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Where he's just walking around as himself, like all the time. Like even Chris or whatever, he like cut his hair, dyed it or whatever, so they couldn't recognize him when he got pulled over when he went to go get his family and whatnot. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's just some movie.
It was
magic
weird
for you.
He's like, oh, he looks like De Niro everywhere he goes.
Dave, when Waingro's like in his bathrobe at that hotel at the end, right? Why was he there? Was he under police protection or what was that? What was that? Why was he there? And how did De Niro know
I think
how to
he was
find him?
I think he was just there to hide out or
He was
whatever.
hiding out.
The cops,
Yeah, he
the
was
cops
just
were
hiding out.
the cops were surveilling him, but he wasn't there under police protection or anything.
Okay,
like
and
that.
how did De Niro know he was there in what room?
Because
Nate, his friend,
Nate told him
confidant or whatever.
Nate told him at the hotel he was at,
John
and when
Voight's
he
character.
walked
Okay.
into the hotel, he called up
John
as
Voight's
like
character.
room service and said they fucked up his order.
Oh, okay,
and then
missed
he got
that.
the room number,
Oh, okay.
That's how.
and then he changed his suit coat, and he was a complete different person. So it's like,
Were you even watching this movie,
it's like
Brandon?
Hitman. It's
Oh
like
my god! Right? It's 3 hours long. I might have missed something. So Wayne Grow looks through the peephole, and he knows that it's De Niro,
Well, he had his back
So-
turned.
but he knew it was him.
Did he?
I don't
Right?
think. I don't think he did know.
He
No, I
started
don't
to
think he
under
did
the
know it
deadbolt,
was him.
and that's
Yeah.
when he heard the deadbolt, turned around, and kicked it into his face, basically.
Yeah, I don't think Wayne Grow did know it was him. But that was another thing I was thinking because of like, wouldn't he recognize his voice? But that's just another like
He tried-
movie.
Dude, he has
He
such
tried
a
to
distinct
disguise
fucking
it,
look.
but-
Dude, yeah, it was his hair, and yeah, it's just like, how do you not know? And it's weird. He's just got his back to your fucking, like he's hiding it. Like, what kind of criminal are you? So I don't know. I thought that was plot armor. That reminded me of that, but
Well, that and
Yeah.
when they're escaping, when he ditches Edie and just walks away, and Pacino's chasing him. Pacino just like doesn't even show a badge or anything, and just takes the cop's shotgun and just goes chasing after him. But
I thought that was
like
funny too. Yeah.
he can't find him,
Oh,
but
yeah.
then like it just jump cuts to all of a sudden De Niro's at the airport, and all of a sudden Pacino's right behind him, and like how do you know where he is? How do you know that he's going to the airport? How do you know he's not running? It's like it was just a weird, like how is he following
I could
him
see that.
whatsoever?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't, like he was hiding behind those like red and white buildings or whatever, but like how is Pacino so sure that he's right there where like he doesn't know where he is, but then he sees the shadow of the plane taking off? Yeah.
Yeah, the light. Yeah, it was a cool looking scene for sure.
Yeah. Slow motion shots of two dudes like looking around with their guns for like 5 minutes just straight. I'm like, yeah, all right, this is getting a little. But yeah, the shots were very nice. I liked it.
the camera work is really good. The lens that they used, getting really intimate with people. I was really impressed with the camera work for sure. The action scenes were shot really well. There was even like right before when he killed Waingro in that room, he there's like a point of view shot. And it was like when he kind of grabs him and he like kind of runs at him at to
Yes,
the
I
couch.
noticed
I
that
was
too.
Oh,
That
that
was
was random
interesting.
out of nowhere. But yeah, no, I thought that was really cool. The directing, the editing was in tune.
It's definitely a lot of cool cuts like during the action scenes.
Or there's some good just like still shots even of like when Wayne Grows dead on the bed, and they have a good shot there. There's a couple good stills throughout the movie that they used, which I thought was very nice. But you could see that like a lot of the budget went into like a lot of the action scenes, and
Yes.
probably paying
cast.
a lot of the actors. Yes,
yeah.
because there was a lot of them. Holy shit!
Well, I don't know. Who are you paying? Who are you paying for? Al Pacino, De Niro, Val Kilmer, John Voight, but Tom Sizemore is new-ish, right? Ashley
Judd was
is
probably pretty big.
newish. Was she big at that time?
I mean,
95,
4
was
big
she?
names
Yeah.
right there.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's just that like this movie just is one of those rare ones where like they got a lot of people in there, but nobody knew, some of these people. Oh, real quick, Henry Rollins' character. What happened to that guy? The cops got him, right?
Pacino showed up at his
Pacino
house and
threw
made
him
him
through a
talk.
window.
But he doesn't die,
Yeah,
right?
that was a funny.
He just
scene.
gets arrested or
No,
something?
he just got arrested or whatever at the
What
end.
was
'cause
that guy's
Van
job?
Zandt
Was he
basically
like
got
a
gunned
muscle
down.
guy? What was his job?
It's like his
It's like
Van
the
Zant's
bodyguard
kinda.
for Van Zant. Yeah, basically. Yep.
Okay, he doesn't.
I thought he was
talk,
going to show up
really.
at the deal.
That's what I thought.
No.
I thought more of that character, but all of his actions are performed off screen. I feel like he just stands around and looks and just walks in. Here, take this phone number. Now walk away. Now just stand here and nod at me. Like, I feel like unless he was early in acting and he just couldn't act much, so they didn't give him many lines. I have no idea. But it was weird. He was young.
I think it was
so used to seeing
one
him
of his few
with
roles.
gray hair. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Uh,
Everybody was. I don't know. It's crazy seeing like Pacino and De Niro that young too. Because
yeah,
I mean,
right.
that was 20 something friggin' years ago. So, but even like Hank
So
Azaria, like when I saw him, I kept like I hear like Simpsons voices in my head
Simpsons,
now when
yeah.
I just see it. I see his face and I hear Simpson voices. It's funny.
This movie is almost as old as I am. It came out 1 year after I was born.
Oh yeah, you're 94.
Even for 95 though, you got to think of, I don't know, stuff that was coming out then, and like this is pretty huge. Like it cost $60 million to make and made almost $190 million. So it certainly did its job. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It had its ups and downs. It had some suspension of disbelief a little bit here and there. I mean, but it was a heist movie. Like it was a little bit cliche about, you know, how it ended and some of the stuff that happened in it, but I mean, it was a solid flick.
Sure.
I think it's fair to say that I probably enjoyed it the most out of all of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so glad you filled your hole with this one.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad. I always like filling my holes, but yeah, I'm glad I watched this one.
I think when it comes to heists, I'm more on like the Ocean's 11 approach or like Mission Impossible stuff or something like that. I think
Like
that's
more fun.
I think
action-y.
so. Maybe that's my problem. I think this was not a heist to me.
Like I said, it was more character drama. Like, yeah.
Hey,
I gotta watch.
No, go ahead.
I gotta watch more Pacino movies. Like that, those are major holes in my.
Raging
movie
Bull,
knowledge.
I gotta see.
I haven't seen many. I haven't Pacino and De Niro. Yeah, I haven't seen many of those.
Just think what a cooler movie Ocean's 11 would have been, though, if like something goes wrong and they're running out of the casino, just like gunning cops down and like running through Las Vegas, just shooting shit up. Like that would have been a little different movie right there.
If we're thinking about heist movies, what else is in the conversation for like best heist movies? Because I can't really think of any other ones.
There's
see what Google says here real quick.
So, well, when I think of heist movies, there's a really good one with when Denzel Washington. Yeah, Dave, you looking that up? Heist movies?
Yeah, I mean they've got some Fast and the Furious movies in here.
Oh boy,
Swordfish. I mean, they have Ant-Man as a heist movie. Now You See Me.
oh that's interesting. Okay,
Den of Thieves.
Now You
King
See
of
Me.
Thieves. What about like is Snatch a heist movie technically? I guess. Ocean's movies.
Inside Man was really good. Do you guys ever see that?
I don't
No.
think so.
Denzel Washington.
Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs
see,
is
that's
heist all the
one
way.
I have to watch.
Oh, we need
That's
to
one
fill
I
your
have to
hole with
watch.
some Reservoir Dogs.
No, yeah, I need to fill my
That's
hole
a
in that
fucking
one.
good one. That is a goodie. And that one's heisty in the same vein of was this one with like, I don't know, some of the violence that I guess Tarantino is known for as well, but
I was gonna
it's
say,
told from
Tarantino movie.
from a Tarantino perspective where it's a little more I don't know, a little more dialogue heavy rather than
Mm-hmm.
action heavy, but that one is a fantastic heist movie. So
Point Break is a heist movie.
See, that's another one I gotta watch. Yeah.
I don't know if you do.
I've heard really good things about it.
I mean, it's fucking 90s, like early Keanu Reeves acting, Patrick Swayze. I don't know. Maybe. I'd rather watch Reservoir Dogs, a
It's
movie
worth
that aged
Be
very well.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, both of those.
I mean, we know when you know the director of the movie, it's a good movie. That's my rule, right? I don't know. I usually know the name of the director. I don't know who directed Point Break. I'm going to click on it, and it's going to tell me who directed this movie. Never heard of it, or never heard of him. Let me see.
Never heard of them.
It's directed by Catherine Bigelow. Now, maybe she's a good director.
Oh,
but she
Yeah,
did like
the
Zero
Hurt Locker, Zero Dark 30.
Zero Dark 30,
She's
yeah.
she's a Grammy or a Grammy, Oscar-winning director.
She sings really well
Okay,
too.
well, hey, maybe it is a good movie.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. I look back at that movie. It was a kind of like absurd '90s, like surfing and fucking surfing, man, like all that shit. You know, like it's just I don't know. Red Hot Chili Peppers have like a scene in there, and
Do they really?
Oh,
That's
wow.
yeah,
got
and
my
the beat
attention.
scene. Yeah, dude, they're like, yeah. Well, whatever. Put it on the list, I guess. But
Add to the schedule.
Reservoir Dogs is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, we should get that onto the schedule at some point.
All right. Well, we're rambling on. So, real quick, where would you put this movie? I think it's overrated, but it's good. It's good. I can see it setting the standard of like what a heist movie is, especially in the '90s. But other than that, like, meh. Like, I could have done it without seeing it. I'm never gonna quote it.
Oh, I don't quote it, but I thought it was a solid heist movie. I don't know if I'm gonna, like you said, I don't know if I'm gonna be thinking about it, next week or whatever. But I thought it was a solid one. It definitely had its low points. Definitely has some, plot holes in it. But on the whole, I thought it was awesome. Just for at least the first robbery and the bank sequence are just worth seeing. But everything in between is just kind of building up the characters to get to those points, and then gets to the tipping point and shit hits the fan. So it's an intense one, but not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but it's good.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, I was definitely hotter on it than you guys were. I think I enjoyed it a lot, and taking it as more of a, analyzing the characters and everything than a straight up heist movie, even though the action sequences were really good. But yeah, it kind of just makes me want to watch some more Pacino and De Niro. So maybe I'll go do that after this.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah, you'll have to report on that. I like my side missions are catching up on the Alfred Hitchcock movies.
I mean,
missions.
The Godfather, like I have never seen any of the Godfather movies. Well, I watched a little bit of one a while ago and got bored, but I think that was just because I was a dumb teenager. So I think I would want to go back to those. But yeah, that's all I got on Heat.
Feeling the heat.
Okay, I think we can extinguish this conversation and
Oh, that is good. That was lit.
Yep.
That was rich right there. I liked it.
yeah, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll go and do a round of You Don't Know Actors, and I'll host this one. So let's take a break and do that. Okay, break time is over, but game time has just begun. We're going to play a round of You Don't Know... What's it called? You Don't Know
You
Actors.
Don't Know Actors.
Actors.
The amazing name I came up with for this game.
Yes. I'm going to be hosting this one, but it follows the same rules that we have for... God, name that game. Right?
Name
Yeah.
that game.
Yeah, so basically, I just read some facts about something, and then you guys just say your name. The first one that does it gets to take a shot at kind of guessing what the thing is. So this game is a movie, and you guys are gonna. I'm gonna read off the cast, and then you have to guess what movie I'm talking about. Like these actors are gonna be in this movie. I'm doing a horrible job explaining this.
I think you've had too much to drink, Brandon.
I don't think I drank enough. Honestly, I have, I don't know if it's coming through with this recording, but I have congestion galore going on up here, man. Yesterday it hit me. Then I had a stomach bug the other day. Nobody needs to know this stuff, but man, being sick sucks. I'm over it. But I will brave through this podcast because it's not that hard, and all I gotta do is talk. So, but I do have the movies ready to go. Are you guys ready to play this game?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Ready to keep my winning streak going.
Yeah, what are you gonna say? No. Yeah.
No, I don't
I
want
need a
to.
break.
I'm scared. Okay, so for the first movie, I'm going to start us off with Bill Murray.
Dave.
Go for it.
Groundhog Day.
Incorrect.
Eric. Caddyshack. Just throw out one.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Okay. See,
He was in that, right?
It's whittling it down. Yes.
Okay.
Whittling down our choices so we can make more educated guesses as we go.
Amber Heard.
Heard. Why do I know her name?
Can you give us... Who is that?
I don't know. She's very pretty.
I don't know.
I've seen her
This...
in stuff, I think.
Familiar.
Want another one?
Yeah,
I can't.
I'll take another.
I don't have anything.
All right. Abigail Breslin.
Oh my god. I feel like I know.
Where do I
this
know her
one.
from? What's her face
Eric,
look like?
Eric.
Oh.
Zombieland.
Wow, dude.
Nice. Come on.
I was like Emma Stone's coming next. Because, like, what's it say? Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, I think.
Yes, Abigail. I connected those. I
Who
knew
is-
it had
who
to
is
be
she?
recent.
Is that like Omaha or
She's
from
the
the
little
little-
sister.
the little sister? Yeah.
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 Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Good job. Okay.
That's a good call.
All right, this is the fun one. Yep. Okay, ready? Haha, this will be
Yep.
fun.
Fire away.
Sally Field. Sorry, not Sally Field. Sally Field.
Eric.
Go for it.
Forrest Gump.
Are you serious? It is Forrest Gump.
Son
Yes.
of a bitch.
You know what's funny?
Ah.
I was thinking about picking that one last week, but I didn't.
Oh,
So I-
okay.
Oh man,
And
my
I
win
love
streak
Forrest
is
Gump's one of my favorite movies, so I always have that on the brain.
God damn it. All right, you're good.
Son of a bitch.
Ready?
Nope.
Ted Danson.
Ooh, I have a guess.
Dave. 3 men and a baby.
I was gonna guess that one.
Wow, I forgot about that. I want to see that movie again, but no, there's not that.
So no. Oh, okay. That's a shame. That's a good movie.
That's the
Eric,
first one
I
I
think.
thought of with
I
Ted
think.
Danson.
I don't know.
I don't have
You
a
got
guess.
anything?
That was
No? Okay.
That was gonna be my guess.
Okay. Paul Giamatti.
Ooh, Giamatti. There's a lot of Giamatti
Well-
movies.
Well, Paul and I know Ted. I don't know what they've been in together though. I can't piece together that part of my brain. Have some more beer. Maybe that'll help.
All right, ready? Vin Diesel.
Eric?
Okay.
I should have just guessed at this one first. Fuck.
I don't know. The Pacifier? That's what... You remember that
Watched
one?
that movie.
Oh my god. Yeah, I watched that as a kid. I remember liking
Alright.
that movie.
I'm gonna guess one. I'm gonna
Go for it.
take the low hanging fruit and guess Fast and the Furious.
Incorrect.
No, I didn't think so. I didn't think the other two were in there.
Jeremy Davies.
The fuck is that?
He's in the movie.
Oh.
He's in the movie.
No.
Hmm.
Dave?
This is not ringing a
Okay.
bell.
I think this is wrong. I know Vin Diesel is in here, but I don't know about everybody else. But I'm going to say Guardians of the Galaxy.
I was thinking that.
Oh, good one. No, it's not.
No, I don't think so.
I was gonna say I didn't think Ted Danson
No.
or
Unless it was like
Giamatti was in
Unless
there.
it was some like weird side character. I don't know. Maybe they were like just
Mhm.
like one tiny little scene or a voiceover somewhere.
Giovanni. Oh, how do you say his last name? Ribisi? Ribisi? Ribisi?
If you can't even say his
Ribisi.
name, I don't know his fucking
Ribisi.
name.
What's he from?
Ribisi. He's from this movie. He's actually been in a lot of things.
Such as
Can't tell you. I feel like, well, because I can't remember. He's
what
he's
would I
been
know
in,
him as?
God. I don't know. I have to like click on this guy to see what he's been in for you to know. He was in Boiler Room, Avatar, Sky Captain, The World of Tomorrow, Flight of the Phoenix.
Nothing.
He's in the show Sneaky Pete.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. All right. Adam. All right. Maybe. All right. Let me hit like a bigger name. Maybe. Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore. Okay. The only thing I know him from is Heat.
I've seen his face in like tons of stuff, but I can't put one and two together there. Ted Danson and like they're all
seems like a tough one. Yeah.
Things that I should know.
All right,
have I
ready?
seen this
Can I
movie,
give you another?
Brandon?
Oh boy.
I pick movies that I know you guys have seen.
Okay.
Ready? Here comes the next name. Ready?
Ready.
Matt Damon. Yes, there's a movie that has Paul Giamatti, Ted Danson, Tom Sizemore,
Eric?
Matt Damon in it. All right, let's hear it.
The Bourne Identity? I don't fucking know.
Nope.
What the hell is this movie?
Matt Damon, huh?
Matt Damon.
Not Vin Diesel in it too. Like this is
Vin Diesel. I forgot about that.
This is a stellar cast. We should be writing these down, Eric. Come on.
What the fuck is Matt Damon and Vin Diesel? What the fuck were they in together?
Dude, right? Ready? I'm gonna add another one. Ready? One of the biggest names in Hollywood, Sir Tom Hanks.
What is this movie?
Fuck.
What the fuck? This makes me
Dave?
think it's like one of those parody movies. Go ahead, Dave.
I'm guessing maybe they're voice actors. Is it Toy Story 2?
Incorrect.
Well, I don't think so. Maybe you're getting a little froggy with that one last time.
Hold on, let me think about this. I got time to think now. Tom Hanks,
Matt
Damon, Vin
Tom
Diesel.
Sizemore, Vin
Oh.
Diesel, Ted Danson, Paul Giamatti.
I'm gonna be
What is
kicking
this
myself
movie?
when I hear this name.
This makes me think it's like that, like movie 42 or like Meet the Spartans, one of those dumb parody movies, but it's not.
Meet the Spartans.
Yep. And then the other guys that I named, you would like, oh, okay, that's that guy's name. But this is one of those movies where, yeah, it's got a lot of actors in it.
Was it a good movie?
It's an amazing movie. I guarantee you.
I was gonna say it's got to be a good movie. It's got all these
Why
guys
can't
in
I
it.
not think of what the fuck this movie is?
It's your second Tom Hanks movie too that you're dipping into
I
here.
was gonna say, yeah, got Forrest Gump on the brain. I don't know. I have no guesses. Okay, I have to go into my mind palace and just think of all Tom Hanks movies.
Your mind palace.
Tom Hanks, Matt Damon are in
All
a
the
movie
time.
together.
It's not
With Tom
It's not the
Sizemore.
Money Pit. It's not Big. Because everybody's too young to be in all this crap.
Can I tell you who directed it?
Sure.
Please.
Spielberg?
I feel like we should have gotten this by now.
This
It
is
is.
embarrassing.
I do feel embarrassed right now.
I cannot think of a damn movie that has Tom Hanks and Vin Diesel in it. That doesn't make sense to my brain.
All right, so I was being cute with it because Vin Diesel's in this movie, but it's like one of his first movies.
It's not The Pacifier.
Not The Pacifier.
He's not like he's like one of the main characters, but he's not.
I feel
one of the main
like
characters.
anybody
he's just,
listening
like,
to
part
this
of
has to be screaming at their
ensemble.
phone right now. Just
probably with this one. Yeah, once they said Spielberg, Tom Hanks, they probably like, well, it's that.
you already did Forrest Gump.
All right, well, you guys didn't get this one. We're
Hold
gonna
on,
move on
hold
to the
on,
next
hold
one.
on. I need to think some more.
Well, I don't know if people want to
Yeah,
listen.
I know,
to
I
you.
know.
That's a tough one.
All right. Dave is losing 0-2. All right, I'm going to do another movie. Dave.
Okay, are you going to tell us who
All right.
what this movie
I
was
picked
though,
that last
first?
one because I might go back to it just because who knows? We might have to pull it out.
That's what she said. Okay.
All right, ready?
We get a fresh piece of paper here.
Oh boy.
Good. Man, I feel shame now.
All right, ready?
I can't. I'm drawing a blank.
Kate Blanchett.
Dave?
Okay.
I don't know if I'm right here. Damn it. I don't know. Titanic popped in my head. I don't even know if she's in that. That's not.
No,
Fuck me.
it's not it.
Fuck me. God damn it.
Nothing over here.
Ian Holm.
Eric. Oh. Lord of the Rings.
It is Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship.
Oh, come on. That was a low.
Yes!
Lame. All right. Eric wins. What was that other movie?
All right, ready? The movie that was
We could do the last one. Let's do the last one though.
the movie that you couldn't figure out
because you had
that
one more,
Spielberg
right?
made with fucking Tom Hanks and Matt Damon and Vin Diesel, baby, was Saving Private Ryan.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never seen
Oh,
that.
really?
So.
Dude, I don't care. That's like he's on the face of it. He's everybody now. Like
I haven't
knew
seen that in
I
a
didn't
long
even-
time, but the
yeah.
Matt Damon Tom Hanks should have given
I
that
didn't
fucking
even
right
think
away.
of that.
But I get that when you got the first two in a row, I was like, this is one I know Dave has at least seen many times, and Eric's probably seen casually. But I was like,
I've only
it's a
Seen
big
parts
ass
of
movie.
it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like one of those movies where like you never saw it, but you
See?
know who's
I've
in
only
it.
seen it once, and
Dave, I
maybe
tried to
I've
help
seen
you
like
with that.
every
maybe a
other
long time ago.
Seen like every other
Yeah.
Tom Hanks movie.
Oh, Saving Private Ryan. I've seen probably like 10 times.
Shaving
Okay.
Ryan's Privates.
I gotta watch that one.
So the one that if we needed to do another, it was going to be this one. Ready?
All right, give me
All right.
a
Let's do it.
All right.
redemption.
How do I have fun with this one? All right. Edward Norton.
Eric, the Incredible Hulk.
Wrong.
I am an Edward Norton fan. What is something that Brandon would pick out to put an Edward Norton movie in? I don't know. Something that we both would have seen too.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Meatloaf.
Oh, Dave.
Ooh.
Fight Club.
Dave, I was going to go with this one as well for you, but I was like, Saving
love-
Private Ryan will be more
I
fun.
love Fight Club. That's a good movie.
I almost picked Fight Club last week too. It's crazy.
Oh, really?
I like that one. That's a good one.
So real quick, and congrats, Eric.
His name is Robert Paulson.
I didn't know if you guys seen that. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, I won. Thank you. Space Camp. Here I come.
The tricky thing is like when you pick a movie that's part of a series, you're like, oh, I'll pick like Spider-Man, or I'll pick, or X-Men. It's just like, well, which one? And then so it's hard
Right,
because like you said, Lord of the
exactly.
Rings. I should have said which one, like maybe I don't know, but it's hard to pick a pocket.
Fellowship would probably be the easy one.
Yeah, usually just pick the first one in the series at that point, but yeah,
Right.
Eric, man, you were on fire. Holy crap.
Yeah, the Sally Fields Forrest Gump
And
one
then-
kind of crushed my hopes and dreams right there. Yeah, you got the most you got on them was three people for Zombieland, one for Forrest Gump, and two for Lord of the Rings. So that's quite impressive there.
Damn.
Crushed me like a grape.
I was gonna say it. Forrest Gump is like one of the only Sally Field movies I know. So
I feel bad. I've only
Yeah, maybe
seen
that's
Saving Private Ryan once, and that was probably like, I don't know, 15 years ago or whatever it came out. So it was not
I gotta
top
watch
of
that.
mind for
Sally
me.
Field was the mom of Superman.
Yeah, I guess technically.
All right, well that's it, Eric. Let's go to the social side of things. What's going on over there? Just tweeting shit out.
yeah. Follow us at Nomads of Fantasy if you want to stay up to date on our latest episodes. We usually post a tweet, saying what our next episode is going to be, in case you want to follow along. I don't know. I kind of want to start posting some other fun stuff like polls and questions and just some more engagement type stuff. But follow us at twitch.tv/Nomads of Fantasy. Probably, hopefully, do some more streaming over there. Eventually, I want to put together a live episode one day, but who knows when that's gonna
Someday.
happen.
Okay.
But that would be
holiday
fun.
season to be a fun time to do something like that. Yeah, I mean, we're really rolling right now. Even though this is a new show, at the time of this recording, we're only getting a couple dozen like dedicated listens, but that's been growing a lot over the last month, which was like way lower than that. So definitely appreciate the people who have been following us along. But
thank you.
The last few episodes have been definitely kind of doubling our numbers, which is good. So I think we're going to be we want to go into October with a set schedule. So we might even like list that out. But if anybody does want to, suggest anything or vote, we might put a poll out, right, Eric? Maybe like,
yeah, we could do that.
I don't know if you want to do something like that. If people want to get involved, just, all you got to do is just reach out, and we're more than willing before, we get ahead of ourselves with our schedules. But a live episode, guest episodes, or guest appearances from other people on the show. There's a lot of things in store. This whole summer, we've been just kind of figuring out what the format is and what our style is and all that stuff. So, but I think we're doing pretty good now. I love picking these holes though. Like Heat, while I wasn't like that into it, it is cool to just be checking things off. And I hope people are doing that with us.
Dude, yeah.
Like,
I have my list on my phone, and we've already watched like 3-4 movies from my list for this podcast, and it feels good to just get it off the list.
Yeah, like Akira was in there.
That was a great surprise for me, because that wasn't...
Die Hard was
Akira
on
was
my
nowhere
list,
on my radar.
Oh, it was on your list. That's right.
So just shit like that.
Die Hard,
yeah,
Akira,
now you got the
Heat.
manga. Yeah.
Yep, it's been fun.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's fun doing this. I do like coming up with the ideas and all that stuff. So it's been fun. So if you're following along and you like this, totally spread the word, spread the love, engage. We're definitely down. And I know these guys like to do Twitch. Dave's on Reddit. Eric's on Twitter. So there's ways to get a hold of us. I'm too busy editing the show to do much of the social, so I leave that to you guys. But is there anything, Dave? Is there anything
Facebook
you want to
group
talk
up
about?
and running.
I know. I mean, they created it, but just Google it or Facebook search it, and you'll find it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm going to be doing much with it. I do want a community. I really just want people to just listen in and like engage, and like maybe, I don't know, Twitter, Reddit is fine with me. We'll figure that stuff out as the show goes on, I think. But yeah, Dave, did you have anything?
Nothing really. I'll be out next week. You guys will be filling in and play more games, see what's on Game Pass. We got a whole schedule of fall stuff coming out, so excited to keep the train rolling.
Yeah, and then is Psychonauts 2 coming to Game Pass or no?
It's already, just dropped.
It is? It is, right? Just today?
Yep.
Or something like that? Okay. All right, so yeah, maybe we'll talk about that in like the next episode or so. Maybe within the month. But okay, I think we're done. You guys ready to get out of here?
Cool. Let's go.
Yep.
All right.
Peace out.
See ya.
See ya.